are you?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, and como te llamas? Te llamas. Yeah, that's CP. Como te llamas to you, my people? We are here today live on Monday. It is July the 26th, and we are here with the three amigos. Our sombrero is here, but it's not. My back is in pain. Christina's back is in pain. Kyle's leg is in pain. We are hurting, mother. Let me tell you. But as we are here on Monday today to let you know that our topic for the show is "You Are Not Alone."
Case in point, we're all hurting at the same time.
Oh, thank God for getting that in biofreeze. Because I'm using both right now, and I'm just a happy little piece of cold turd. So we'll just go with that. How are you guys today?
Doing okay for all things considered.
All things. That sounds like a car commercial. I'm doing all right. All things considered, my car didn't come with the GPS I wanted, but I'll make do. So, I mean, to kick this thing off, I was talking to the dos amigos earlier, and sorry, my Spanish is broken, kind of like my back right now. But honestly, you are not alone. A lot of people deal with stuff in their life, and they go down a path that's not necessarily dark or wrong, but they deal with stuff, and they are single parents. Some are single fathers, and I want to talk about single fathers for a little bit because men are not considered nurturers except for this one. I was weird when I came out of the womb, so I think I have woman genes, like not the jeans I'm wearing, although they are a little tight. But it's they look good, okay. I'm just saying, but I think men are the tough, rugged, boot wearing, motorcycle driving, tattoo artists with the long hair, and they beat people up and they handle the big shit. But I think that men are caring, and I think men are understanding, and I think it is hard to deal with stuff as a single dad. We talk a lot about the single moms out there, and then if you have a child with a disability, the Keaton pat's kicking in now. You have a child with a disability, it makes it different because when the guy can't relate and do the mom stuff, and the mom can't relate and do the dad stuff, there's a section missing. So let's go from there for starters. You are not alone. What's that make you think of to the green shirt wearer in the right? We'll go with.
Well, I mean, that just goes to what we were talking about earlier is you have to share the load of the work. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you aren't able to fulfill what you need to do, it's okay to ask somebody who knows what they're doing to do it. I mean, and if you're asking that person if they care about you enough, they will do it because they love you. Not, I feel like it's very common for people to want to get something out of you. Like, you're doing a favor for me. Well, what are you going to do for me?
Do you think it's a pride thing to ask for help? Is it a
I do.
Man, I can do it on my own?
I think it's a pride thing, but I think it's a societal thing, especially for men, that you can't be weak. We are, hardwired to be the strong ones all the time. At least that's the way society, gender roles and norms is. The men are the strong ones, and they take care of business. And I think sometimes it gets lost that men also are human, who have emotions, who need to process their emotions, and they need to have a way to let their emotions out. Because the more you stuff them down, that's when you explode.
Yeah, we're going to get to that part too. So well said. We'll go to Senora Cristina down here and let her shine her light a little bit on this.
That's actually Senorita.
Sorry, I just called her on that. I told you my Spanish.
Little Spanish.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So for me, I guess, I mean, the whole "you're not alone" thing. I think I can echo what Kyle said. I think guys aren't really always allowed to have feelings. It's a societal thing. It's even a cultural thing. When I studied in Spain, and a boy would be crying over something at school, it was always like, boys don't cry. That was their saying. Like, boys don't cry. Don't cry because you're a boy. You're not supposed to show your emotions. You're not supposed to be, you can be upset, but you're certainly not supposed to cry about it, kind of thing. And I never really understood why it was boys don't cry. Like, why not? Like, they're kids. Kids throw tantrums and they cry. And I know that as an adult, we're not necessarily going to throw a tantrum about it, but we should still be able to show our emotions in a way that is non-judgmental. I mean, the only thing that happens when you don't show your emotions is things just build and build and build, and then people wonder when you snap why you snapped. Well,
Right. So
if you don't have a place or a person to offload any of that onto, it's not going to go anywhere except for just keep getting heavier and heavier and heavier until you can't carry that load anymore.
we talk about a lot on this show the internal battle with self. Okay. And there's two things that I want to mention that Kyle said, amigo number one, and senorita number one down here, to be politically correct in that version of non-married. So we will make sure that to say this. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Okay, I've been that way since I came out of the womb. Okay, I've been the same DJ since grade school. Now, I've changed a lot in thinking ability and brain size, and I've grown sideways. But in the other part of it is I'm not going to fake it. If I feel something, I'm a man and I'm a damn good man. But if I got emotion, boy, I'll cry when I feel something. Movies get me, stories get me, testimonials get me. And everybody's like, why are you crying? I'm like, motherfucker, because I feel like it. And shut up, pass me a tissue. I mean, sometimes you just got to get the bounty. But, we already carry the load of our disabilities ourselves. And everybody carries something, okay? Even if you have the same disability as us, which is cerebral palsy, okay? The case is going to be different. So the stereotypical thing that Christina was talking about, don't you show your emotion, don't you cry. How in the hell did that come up? Where did society go, okay, the men are not supposed to cry at all? Because I'm going to cry if I stub my toe. And I'll be honest, I'm not going to say some nice things after that. But, I don't like the idea of saying I can't show how I feel. I can't be what I am in the moment that I'm at. And I think we should all be that way with somewhat of control. Am I wrong?
No, I think we should be able to. I think, there is a time and a place to be emotional. Like sometimes there is that fake it till you make it, like in the moment, you're in a meeting and somebody says something that you don't like and you have to be professional. You got to hold it in, but you need to then unload it later.
Right.
In other words, Kyle is saying you bite your tongue until you have the opportunity to go, you stupid mother.
Yeah.
Until smile and wave. Like when DJ calls Christina 4 times and she's like, oh, come on. Hi, how are you? It's just that moment of, or that, what did you mean when you said, and then
I do that a lot with people. Like, people say something to me and I get mad and or upset in private. Like, get frustrated about it, vent about it to someone else, and then call them back or text them back and be like, okay, so can we talk about what you said? Because I don't know what
Well, and see, here's the thing. If you do that, see, that's how I am. Once I've had a chance to go through the emotion, I don't want to wait 2 days to talk about the shit. I want to air the shit out now and get
Right.
it clean. That's, I think, pretty much Kyle's the same way.
Case in point, today.
That should happen today. And look, y'all, understand, be careful with texting, because texting has no tone. And somebody can take something totally different, but I'm not the type of person. If somebody has a problem with me, I want them to call me, or if I think that there is a problem, I'll call first. I don't care if you're on the toilet. I don't care if you're in the White House. I don't care if you are wiping your butt on the driveway. If you got a problem and we got a problem, I'm gonna call and man up and say, okay, let's figure out. Let's take a breath, step back, and let's see where the problem really lies. And I want to say right now, heat and biofreeze. Whoa! That's all right now. It's like, I don't even know if that's a word, but it's up there, way, way up there. But no, I think everybody is going to have something that they deal with every day. Some of it is going to be way up here. Some of it is going to be way out. Something can be token. Yep, my CP is good. Something can be taken totally out of context, and they go, well, if you think it's better, then fine. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, whoa, hold up. Wait a second. Let's revisit the context here. I'm not going to call you out. You all right. You ain't done nothing wrong. I'm just saying. And then when you go through it and you go, oh, well, man, I just woke up. Leave me the fuck alone. That's all it was. I'm like, okay. I think people get it in their head that they're in for a fight automatically. Everything is not about having to battle. Sometimes you just gotta pick your battles. You really do. Sometimes you got to step back and go, how do I handle this? Is there a right way to handle it? Because I'll be honest, today I was like, I had said something, and Kyle got it, and he replied, and his reply wasn't the greatest. And I literally was like,
no, I said it. I was fired up by then. I was like,
hold
on.
What the fuck is all this shit here? Like, wait a minute now. And I'm like, first thing I did is call Christina. I'm like, what the hell did I do? And I'm just like, I'm kind of like, okay. Let me, because I'm.
What did I tell you? I said, see, DJ, that's the thing with texting is probably would have been better with a phone call.
Right. Yeah. And see, I tried, but Kyle was indisposed to where he couldn't answer the phone. But
we talked about it.
Long story short. Come on, CP, Lord Jesus. Wow. Long story short. All right. Yeah.
Okay. That'd be a funny shirt to put on. Long story
short. Yeah, there we go. We talked about it. And both of us, I think, understood where each was coming from. And once we figured it out and once we kind of got through the decipher, that's why I hate texting. I hate it. I do not like texting people. I like talking to people because I want to hear what you got to say.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, too, I think we should point out about unloading things. When you don't, things do get lost in translation because what you're feeling and not expressing, the other person can't then respond to.
If you don't talk it out and if you hold it in, you're going to regret something from somebody else for the wrong reason. I'm waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the Christina to be like, don't call me no more. I will drop kick you. It's coming. I know it's coming. But I can also read body language. I can read tone. I can read a person very well. And I'm very easy to talk to because Kyle felt he was being called out. And when I told him the situation, he wasn't. It was the last thing I want to do is call anybody out. If I'm if I have a problem with a person, I'm going to talk to that person. But in the
Mhm.
same sense, and this is where we're going back to the you are not alone. People like to turn shit. Okay, when you get people involved, and I mean the wrong people. Well, he said this, and this is what he meant, and he moved and said this about you, and then you're gonna go listen to somebody else, let them talk for 20 minutes, and be madder at a situation when all you got to do is go. You know what? I want to talk to the source, and if we fight a little bit, we fight a little bit. We're men. It's all right.
Well, I used to think fighting was bad, but it's if it's done in the right way with the right intentions, it doesn't have to be detrimental because I mean, you have to do it with like love and compassion, obviously, for
You
anything
don't
to be
have to take the
accomplished.
same path to be on the same page, but you got to get there. So you got to see the agreement. And Christine, she got the patience of a saint. I'll tell you, she got it because I said, Kyle's calling me. Let me call you back. I talked to Kyle, and then I tried to call her back and couldn't get her. I'm like, damn. Waited about 20 minutes, call again. I'm like, okay, I'll just text her. And she said, I'm on the phone. Kyle talked to me about the topic. I'll talk to you tonight. See, that's all I need. As long as somebody responds, I'm good. They don't respond, I'm gonna make sure they ain't laying down somewhere. Because if she had to fall, I had to go all the way to Frida and then make sure you know
Like Liam Neeson, I will find you. Like,
what I do have is a very specific set of skills. If you let this go now and return my door, okay. So I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but here's the thing: when you are a single parent, let me say this: please, please have a counselor on standby. There is nothing wrong with having a person on the outside that is not family, not somebody that you trust, not your best friend that you've known for 26 years. Go to somebody on the outside who can be unbiased. That's called Jesus, help me, Lord. That's Kyle's word, not mine. Unbiased to the situation, and allow yourself to be what you feel and experience that emotion as it is. Because when you go to somebody, yes, you got to pay for it and it sucks. But when you go to counseling and you find somebody to talk to that you can trust, you are not bottling up anything, because when you bottle it, you are destroying yourself.
Mhm. I mean, it does eat at you.
Oh,
It
yeah.
starts off slow, but
Right here. That's the size of the hole that it starts. When you get go ahead,
there's
Kristen.
there's a certain amount of taboo with getting help too. Like, oh, if you go to counseling, you're not right in the head. No, it's somebody who wants to better manage what they've got going on, and getting some outside help to do that. There's nothing
coping,
wrong with it. What's that?
coping
Coping. Yeah,
goes,
Mm-hmm.
goes back to
It's
last week.
copacetic. Good word right there. Look, I'm gonna let y'all know I'm crazy as hell. I was crazy when I came out, crazy when I went in,
you
crazy
can.
when I came back out one more again. I'm probably one of the craziest mofos on the planet. But you know what? Everybody got problems. That's why I ordered a shirt. Okay? CP problems. My CP made me do it. There is shit that we deal with on this planet when it comes to CP, like tripping on it over air, stubbing our toe in the doorway, wrapping ourselves in bubble wrap, hurting our wrist when we ain't supposed to, falling for no reason. See,
The
y'all.
calls
But
for the no reason are the worst because you're like, where did it come from?
Well, that's how this happened, y'all. Those of you, watching here on Facebook, you can see my wrist. Like,
Mhm.
people ask me how it happened. Well, gee, I was in the kitchen getting a snack, and I just randomly fell backwards.
I
And
turned to look at the Fruit Loops, and all I know is I landed on my ass. I don't know how it happened.
And
I
that's the thing. It just comes. It literally comes out of nowhere because the second your balance shifts out of, it's like,
well, and it's like, save myself, throw an arm back. And, I saw my uncle made a joke this weekend. He goes, Christina, I wear something like that on my wrist when I go skateboarding. You've been skateboarding lately? That's what you were doing, right? I was like, yeah. Yeah, Uncle Todd, that's what I was doing.
went
Like,
for a half pike and missed it and landed right on my wrist. It was horrible. My skateboard didn't get hurt though. But see, here's the thing: when you start to feel like you're alone, don't deny it. Don't deny that. You got the first part to handling a problem that you suffer from, any problem whatsoever, is acknowledging that it's there. Drugs, alcohol, uh, 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 addiction, pornography, whatever the problem is, you've got to acknowledge that it's there and realize that you're not alone in the process. Because when you acknowledge that you feel like you're alone, you go searching. And you have to be careful in that moment because when you search, you're very vulnerable. Okay? When you're looking for somebody to confide in, you're very vulnerable.
sometimes the judgment isn't there either, I'll say. I mean,
Mm.
that's why it's important to have those people to go to, because when you're in a situation you don't know who to go to, you're freaking out, you might be telling somebody something that you shouldn't be telling all those things. You got to be really careful. As big of hearts as we all have and as much as we want to support others, in our Sunday group and everything else, like, you've got to be careful who you confide in, because even people that appear nice to you are not necessarily the ones with.
Oh, did we have this conversation a couple weeks ago? God dang. But just to go kind of on top of that, you can't make everybody happy. Okay? There are so many people pleasers in the world that try and try and try.
It's me
Christina,
a little bit too. Like, I'm over here, like, I'm guilty. Like, I've learned to be better about it, but I'm guilty to a point.
well,
I
I got to give both of y'all credit because I noticed Kyle, especially in this last 3-4 weeks, twice now. But I noticed in this last 3-4 weeks, Kyle put his foot down, and he had to.
Oh, see, I think my give a damn's getting a little busted because
Give it.
I don't know. I'm just
Give
like,
a damn, getting a little busted.
That's a good song too, by the way. If y'all haven't heard it,
My give a damn's busted. Yeah.
it's like, because okay, I guess what I've learned over these last several weeks about voicing my opinion, because I used to be terrified of doing that because I hate confrontation. But you know what? My happiness matters, and it doesn't have to be bad confrontation. I guess I guess I was always worried, like, oh, it's gonna go
Well
real
said.
bad,
Well said.
and it's like, no, you can still have healthy conversations. You could still confront somebody in a good way where it's
Right.
still positive for both people. Case in point, both of you. We've done that a few times where it's like, me and Christina, we got something to talk about. Let's talk about it. Did we want to talk about it? No. But we did, and it worked out. It worked out. I mean, it was tough, but
But I mean, I think we're not alone in having a certain fear of conversation. Yeah, because I'm afraid.
Now your CP's affected. There we go.
it's spreading.
We all have, a fear of confrontation. That's the word I wanted to use. Confrontation to a point, because nobody really likes to get somebody else upset to the point where it causes them problems. But at the same time, we need to know that we deserve, what we deserve, and we need to be able to stand up for that. I mean, it's not inhuman to worry about what somebody else is going to think, but at a point, you have to put yourself first.
Well, that's a good point, because if you're not worried about how that person's going to react, maybe you're not really good friends. Maybe they're not that important. Because if I mean, there is a sense of worry, because if they're important to you, you worry about what's going to happen to that relationship. If you're not worried about it, then what does that tell you?
If you worry about them, then you're obviously concerned about how they feel. But let me throw this out there. You can't have confrontation without confronting something.
Right.
So you can't confront something without confrontation. It's because the confrontation a lot of times, and watch this now, comes from in here. It's not so much with the other person. It's in here.
Mm-hmm. It's the imaginated conversation of what could happen, not what does happen.
This is what they're going to do. This is how they're going to feel. Are you psychic, motherfucker? Can you just stop? Can y'all talk about the shit first?
See, that's a problem that a lot of people have. We overthink so many things, and then we don't end up actually having the conversation because you replay it 46 times in your head. Newsflash, people, it never goes exactly how you think it's going to go. So
I had to stop giving advice to certain people.
And you can't have resolution without some confrontation, can you?
Kyle, boy.
If you don't address a problem, does it ever really get solved?
That's my VP right there, motherfuckers. Y'all understand? God dang it. That's
I'll be honest. This morning I was like, "Oh, we're ready. I'm ready to go. If we need to talk about I was like,
but seriously, how do you feel now?
Oh, I felt good. I felt good that I feel good that I voiced that it bothered me. Maybe it wasn't the right exact way per se over text, but that's something that I've had a long journey to do, of actually voicing that something is bothering.
The only thing is, ask yourself this question. And I ask you this, if you remember. Have I ever called you out?
No.
Have I ever stepped on your toes?
No.
If I ain't done it yet, why the hell am I going to do it?
There's always the first time. And I was like...
I hate that statement. I'm going to tell you why. Because that puts it in your head that it's going to happen. We don't have to agree on everything. But when I say I put my people first, I put my people first. I am not going to disrespect these two. These two especially. I may fuck up somewhere else. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
I do love you, DJ.
Somewhere else. These two here, my main people, I said it. Everybody else, nobody else get mad at me calling my ass. What do you mean, main people?
Y'all, I'm just so sad right now because I just realized that I had a whole mascot for us and everything, and he's not within reach right now. So at some point during this show, I'm going to disappear, and I'm going to come back with the mascot.
You got a mascot
for the three Amigos. He's so cute. We should name him Tucker.
Yeah.
We should name him Tucker.
Tucker
mascot should be Tucker.
Tucker was the one I was thinking, but I don't think I can get a sombrero on him as easily. So.
Oh man, that would be just too cute. See, here's the thing. Kyle is very quiet. Very quiet. Until you piss him off. When you piss him off and he goes, well, fuck it. It's time to go.
And he just says, damn.
See, and that's not good. That's not good.
All right, let me rephrase your thinking. I'm going to tell you why it is good. Watch this. You got a bunch of noisy kids, right? And they're screaming. And you say, sit down. Sit down. Kyle said, sit. sit your ass down, and you see, and everything. That's sometimes
There's value in that.
going up to here is good. Going 0 to 60 is good. And that's your me. You were my temper. I used to have a fuse about this big. Thanks, Dad. Fuse about this big. I would snap on somebody till I got my ass beat one day. I got my butt kicked beyond the shadow of a doubt. This happened and that happened, and I told this man, I'm gonna beat you up, man. It didn't happen. Fuse gets a little longer in humiliation. That was before I was a martial artist. The problem with going 0 to 60 is a situation like today. You think, that stupid motherfucker called me out, I'm a beat it. Oh, shit, that's not
Well,
right.
I didn't say that. But.
No, but I guarantee you, your mind was like, let's go. You want to go? Let's go. Because I know where you were at. Because I read the text. I'm like, whoa. And what did I immediately do? Called and left a voicemail. And I said, hold up. Take a second. Step back. Because if there is confrontation there, I'm going to do my best to diffuse it. Now, what does all this right here and what we're talking about have to do with being alone? Sometimes when you have confrontation and you have situation where you have to handle confrontation where somebody has manipulated you or somebody has what's the word I'm looking for? Intimidated you, and you're like, well, man, I ain't going up to bat by this by myself. Oh no, this person, no. You are like, I am not going to the island by myself. When somebody else gets in the boat with you and pedals for a little bit, Kyle can get mad. That's his right. He has the right to feel how he wants to feel because that's his emotion. And can't nobody take that from him. In the same sense, I'm not always right. I don't have to be always right. When I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong.
BB's here. Hi, BB.
Hey, Bibiana, and I don't have to. I don't have to be. See, and I think Kyle is the same way. I think Kyle doesn't have to always be right. I think once Kyle, has that reaction first, he's like, ooh, did I, ooh, that might, ooh, let me do that, because.
Well, I think right now, I feel like I'm going through a transition period of like, I got to a point, like I was like you, where my short was very fused, and then it slowly got a little
Your
too
short was
long.
very fused.
It got too long.
Yeah.
Because then I started to let people walk all over me.
Mm-hmm. And your bullshit meter got all the way up to here.
And now I'm like, hold on, we got to put it in a normal, like a more normal range
The
where.
mascot's here, y'all. Keep talking, Kyle. Sorry.
Hi, Tucker.
Hey, Tucker, Daddy. The Tucker,
He's a cutie.
Daddy, I love you. Sorry. That is just
As you were saying,
freaking bad on the planet. I'm just like, okay.
But no, I just think I'm at a point where it's like I let people get away with a lot more than they should have. And now I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm still trying to like find the sweet spot.
Well, there was something, and not to bring up anything on the show, but there was something you told me a while ago, and I went, he's going to explode. When you listen to everybody else's problems, and you listen, and you're there, and you're there, and you're there, and you're there, and they keep piling and piling and piling, and I need you, and pretty soon you're like, ah!
Yeah, it's like the only thing I need is 3 weeks to myself because y'all are driving.
No, don't leave me alone. I'm gonna pull out this Wonder Mop and start beating the shit out of some damn body.
Yeah,
I literally had to cut a friend off on advice. I love her to death, but I'm not gonna say no names. Not gonna say what it's about because I don't.
Right, but I mean, like I've gotten to almost to that point too with some people. Like I give you advice enough, but if you keep asking me for advice and don't take it, why am I here shelling out my time and my effort and my
Doing the same damn thing over and over and over, all because you ain't ready. You know what? You better wake the fuck up because life gonna pass you by if you don't. I'm just saying, how y'all doing?
That friend from last week, still haven't talked to said friend, and I don't plan on it.
Now, see that. So let me bring up a little bit of a scary situation in this, and you got to be careful. Make sure there ain't too many hands in the cookie jar dealing with one thing. Okay, when you got 24 cookies, right? You got none of them hands helped you make them motherfuckers. You made them on your own. You got 24 cookies, right? 2 dozen. And you got 36 hands wanting the cookie. You're like, wait, hold up. You want a cookie that I just made. Now see, Kyle and Christina gonna get a cookie. I'll give Tucker a cookie too, because he's all right with me. But you can't have everybody trying to tell you everything about one piece of advice because you will be alone quick. Because when everybody's done venting and you've heard from both sides, you got to decipher all that. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes family is the worst people to give advice. Well, my mama said, oh, wait a minute, last time I checked, you're 35 years old. You better wake up. Mama ain't going to be here forever. I'm just saying. I love my mom to death. If I hear don't one more time, I'm going to snap. Mom called me yesterday just to see how I was doing. I was like, hey, Mom, how you doing? I'm good. What you doing? Same thing I was doing 2 weeks ago. Okay, bye. I am never alone. Now, I want to say this, and this is important. So y'all too, please comment on this right here. If you have a group of people to talk to, not just one, and I'm talking about a solid group of people. I don't care if you find them on the internet. I don't care if you talk with them every Sunday. I don't care if you got a group of people to talk to and you are real with them. And I'm talking about you talk about stuff you don't talk about with nobody else.
Yep, we've done that.
That will save your ass. Because I tell you why, it'll keep you from doing something stupid. Because when you're by yourself, a lot of times you do something stupid.
Well, it's not even when you're by yourself, but when you start to feel alone, that's when things get dangerous. And you can feel alone and not be alone, but I think it's just important for us to let our friends know that we are there for them when we see them struggling, because sometimes they don't always see it.
Oh, I love how you said that right there.
It's hard for them to reach out, but we're still there. And sometimes we just need to remind them that's part of being a friend and that's part of supporting each other.
When you are in a situation and it's not going the way you want it to go, a lot of times you can't see shit. You are just so...
You are blinded by the situation.
Yeah, enamored in that situation. And I want to ask this on the show because we're going to run about 45 minutes today because had a couple people ask me that. So we're going to try to keep it right at 45 minutes to an hour at most. But can either of you think of a situation where you felt like you were by yourself in the situation? When did you realize that you were not?
For me, the biggest thing that I felt alone with was when I was struggling with growing up with CP and feeling like I couldn't talk to my parents. Not that I could have, but I felt so alone and like they don't understand. Nobody understands
Mm-hmm.
until I met Christina, and then that led to other people, and then that led to the group that we have now. Like when you realize that you have people that do relate to you, is when I was like, oh, I don't. But you have to find those people. That's the hardest part.
What is it, before we go to lovely lady down here, what does it mean to have those people that can relate to you? What does it mean to you, Kyle, to go, you know what, I can call Bibiana, I can call Lena, I can call Christina, I can call DJ. I've got people.
I mean, it's everything. It's just knowing that, again, that I can not have to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, Miss Christina, how about you?
Echo that. I just think that, especially with the group that we have, when you find like-minded people and people that are going through the same thing, that is really powerful, because not only can they help share some of the load, but they understand the burden of the load that you carry around every day. They don't just sympathize with you, they empathize with you. They can literally feel what you're feeling. They've literally gone through what you're going through.
And it just helps you process it
right
in a better way.
It's just realizing that, again, you're not alone. You find like-minded people with a similar situation, and you help each other get through some pretty scary shit. I mean, we've told each other things on this Sunday group chat that we haven't told nobody else. And
you leave the group going, damn, I can't believe I just said that. But it's okay because it's solid.
But that's when you know you're in a safe space, because you've been able to break down those walls and open up about those things that are difficult to talk about.
Can you think of a situation, Christina, where you thought you were alone and then you realized you weren't?
Oh, I mean, my junior high years were not necessarily the easiest, and I was just overcome by my emotions a lot of times and frustrated by the things that I couldn't do, as my friends were all getting into sports and things like that, and I just felt alone and overwhelmed, and I didn't feel that anyone else understood. And eventually along the line, I found that I had other talents. Like, my friends were getting into sports. Okay, I joined the choir. I was in the musical. I found other talents and other things that I could do that kind of allowed my young teenage self to stop comparing myself so much to others. And that's kind of where I found, some of that happiness. But I still felt what I felt, and I went through it. Mm-hmm. And I was just fortunate enough on the other side, not too many years after that difficult time, to find people like Kyle who can understand that struggle,
Y'all notice that quick smile, you see?
like if Kyle and I wouldn't have found each other in high school, I honestly don't know what high school would have been like, because
it would have been very boring for me.
As soon as we got to know each other, it was the Christina and Kyle show everywhere we went. If Kyle wasn't with me, it's like, where's Kyle? What's Kyle doing? I still get that question. I'm out somewhere. I'll be out getting groceries. Oh, what's Kyle up to? I'm like, I don't know. At home on his sofa. Am I in charge of him?
Yeah, and that's rare. I will say, that's rare, and that's why people still, people just associate us together because, well, one, we have the show together now. Two, we have two shows together.
Right.
But but I don't care, because
that connection is powerful, and you've got to find people to confide in that you mean something to each other and you trust each other, and it doesn't really matter what everybody else thinks at that point, because when you have a group of friends that gives you what you need, that's all you should care about.
When you've got somebody that's got your back, And in this world is crazy right now. There are more shootings going on in this world. Norfolk, Newport News, Hampton. There, the news was on for an hour yesterday. They covered 4 shootings. 4. And I'm thinking, man, why? What's that got to do with being alone? There's a reason I don't carry a gun. Reason I don't do it. Now, do I carry a projectile taser? Not saying I do. Not saying I don't. Not saying I won't.
Carry pepper spray everywhere. Not saying I do. Not saying I don't.
But I mean, it's one of those things. For me, the alone moment. I was in martial arts, and I remember in 2011 or 2010, I went to 4 tournaments. No, you can't compete. You can't compete in sparring. You're a liability. You'll hurt somebody. You can't compete in sparring. You're a liability. You'll hurt somebody. Matter of fact, I went to 6 tournaments that year. I can name them, but I'm not going to because I'm going to tell you why. I also went to another tournament that year and was asked. I asked a martial artist because no one got it. No one understood because there weren't nobody else in a chair out there competing. I was the only one. And I wanted to spar because I wanted to fight. You understand? When you are in a sparring match, shit happens you don't see. Punches, kicks, you get thrown, you fall on your ass, stuff happens. And I wanted to spar badly. I was a black belt, man. I wanted to get in there. And that weren't until 2015. But in 2010, I also went to another tournament and met Jack Dart, one of the greatest martial artists in the world. And he gave me one chance. And he saw what I wanted. And he said, I remember, you get out there and they knock you out. I ain't going to treat you no different. That's all I wanted. All I wanted was a shot. He gave me the one shot. And when Jack gave me that one shot, everybody else was like, damn, I didn't know he could spar like that. I'm going to have him compete. I get invited to tournaments in freaking Lynchburg. Where else? Oh God, where was it? Petersburg Open that just ended 2 years ago. The last tournament was put on. I mean, 8th and 9th degree black belts. I'm going everywhere because one man saw it to open that door this much.
And all it takes is that one.
And I thought I was lost that this ain't never gonna change. Till I met Jack. But I gotta send a shout out real quick. It's another guy I got to send a shout out to. Master Clifton Whitaker took me to those 6 tournaments and got me the exposure to, oh my God, do I want to do this? You see a tournament for the first time with full contact, you like, oh. It just does something to you. I don't care if we got CP, AAACP, NCP, OPP. I don't care what you got. You see full contact sports and you're like, damn. Ooh, would I love to hit somebody in the mouth? And then you get out there and you do it. And I remember that first shot. Yeah, he smiled because he got me. Okay. All right, you hit me in the mouth. Go ahead, motherfucker. Go ahead and dance around a little bit. Bam! Came right back out. Popped me right back in the mouth, too. He's always like that. I said, hey, I ain't give and get, baby. Just as good. Let's go. And that's when the crowd started. You hit somebody in the mouth, and you hear the crowd. You hear this noise. When you get the hit. Like, it's like, and you stop because, you know, the crowd's on point. If you want something bad enough, really, you're not alone for it. Somebody, talk to somebody, talk to judges, talk to advisors. You want to get into a club that you've never been in? Let somebody know. You want to spar for the first time? Let somebody know. Show them that you can. Take someone from your school to go with you and spar with you to show them, look, kick me in the face. Show them you can take a hit. You are not alone. Never ever think that you are alone. That mindset will destroy you. Your mindset of thinking you are alone will destroy you. It will take away everything you've got, all the momentum that you've got, all of it. Ooh, this heating pad hot as hell. Oh, yeah.
The sleeping made me do it.
Woo. And to unplug it, y'all.
We should be wearing our shirts tonight because DJ and I are both burning our backs with the heating pads as we speak. So those shirts, yeah, they would have.
Duck it.
Appropriate.
And the biofreeze is still working. Half cold, half hot. It just,
as long as it's working.
Sometimes all you need to do is open your mouth. The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Christina said that several times in our group, matter of fact. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. Referring to a couple things, but just
just when people are going through stuff and they like, I'm not getting what I need, I'm not getting what I want. I'm like, keep going. Sometimes you have to be the persistent one to get what you need and to get somebody to really listen to you about whatever it is that you need.
Yeah, I honestly, my friends, there have been times where I'm a wreck. Christina's seen it. Kyle's seen it. DJ's on point. And the thing is, I love that I don't have to hide that, because when you hide it and try to fake it, that's when you end up being alone because you're not who you are.
And it's just a lot less fun. I mean, that just makes life a lot harder than it needs to be. Like, you came on here and said, I'll fake it till I make it. And I said, why? Like, let them know you're hurting. It's be authentic.
Kim said this, yeah, but that can also get you into trouble if you talk too much. Not if your friends are genuine. Not if the people that you have in your life are genuine. You can never talk too much. Unless you're on the phone.
Unless you're being mean about it. If you're expressing yourself in a mean way, people don't have to put up with that.
Yeah, I think, there's a right and a wrong way to do things. And I think sometimes you just got to go, sometimes you just have to step back from the whole situation. And that's okay.
Take the time that you need to process a lot of stuff. Because that's why I was so silent for so long, because it was just like, there's so much I still got to process. I don't know what to say and how to say it and how to get it across how it needs to get across.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of putting my foot in my mouth, I'm going to just sit and wait.
And I got to say, putting your foot in their mouth is an easy thing to do for people with CP, because I've done it, and it does not taste well. But I will.
I'm not sure I'm that flexible personally, but
I will say this though. I will say this. Kyle mentioned taking the time to process. If you think about your computer, and almost everybody owns a computer or a laptop. You run that sumbitch all the time, eventually it will break. Eventually it needs to restart. Eventually it needs to shut down. Humans are the same freaking way. Sometimes we got to reset. What is a reset for us? Go to sleep and wake up. That is a reset. I'm being quite literal when I say this. Everybody needs a reset. I can be annoying. I know. Everybody needs a reset. Somebody can take something the wrong way. Everybody needs a reset. You can call a person 4 times. Everybody needs a reset. And when you got the chance to take it, take time to yourself. Because your self-awareness, your self-care, is important. Last thing I'm going to say before we end this thing, sleep.
That makes a big difference.
Sleep. If you do not sleep, you will go insane. And that is not a joke. Look it up. You can go insane and you will eventually die because your body will shut down or crash. When you need sleep bad enough, it is right here, right now, middle of the Walmart floor, gone. Be careful. Okay? No one is alone in anything they face. It may feel that way. It may feel like everybody's against you. It may feel like nobody is listening. Okay? Do not let it turn inward. When it turns inward and you start battling yourself, it's dangerous.
And don't apologize for sharing either. I will say that.
Well said.
And if you have to apologize for sharing, then you're going to share with the right people. So again, to be careful who you share these things with. That's why, like, you've got to build that circle of trust. Not to
Everything ain't for everybody. Where have we heard that before? Everything ain't for everybody. All right, there you go, Miss Winnie. Got your shout out. Everything ain't for everybody. Sometimes you got to hush your mouth.
And it's okay if it's just for you. Piggybacking off it, everything's not for everybody. It's okay if it's just for you.
That is. I think it's okay if it's just for you is such a good way to end the show, because everybody tries to do something for everybody else. Sometimes you got to do something for your fucking self, and that's okay. I mean, we mentioned this before. I rely on these guys for a lot of things, and they rely on me for a lot of things. And sometimes we're going to agree, and sometimes we're not. But I will never, ever shut them out. I will never tear them down. And if I do, I'm only tearing myself down because they're part of me. Everything that I do is for the people. It's partly for me, but it's also for the people around me. I care for everybody in the group that we run together. I care for these two. This show, as many shows as we've had, gotten a lot of responses from these shows. I put them on YouTube. Flint of Steel is one of my main subscribers that follows. Every week I put something on YouTube. Boy, he is on that joker. That 2-hour commute to work, he listens and watches. Someone is always listening, always watching. You do not know who you are impacting when you speak. Know that you are touching somebody at some point, at some time in your life. You are going to touch someone, and they may not even know it at the time. But when it zeroes in on them and you make the effect on their life that they change, and they say, you know what, I can reach for the stars. Why reach for the stars when you already have one? I heard something from the Olympics that I've seen this commercial about 6 times. You don't, what is it? You don't have to be the greatest in the world to start, but you've got to start to do great things. And I really think people feel like they're alone, or they're scared, or they're upset because of what somebody else thinks. No one can think for you but you. If anybody wants to close with anything else, I can.
Wow. I mean, you pretty much took it out. You knocked it out of the park, DJ. How about that? I don't know how to follow that up.
I ain't even had the bat, man. Y'all, we're a team. That's what we do. So, guys,
so use your team.
Please.
Create and build a team, and don't be afraid to use them.
Learn from each other. Learn from one another. It's a learning experience. Life don't come with a manual. You got to figure that shit out.
Yep.
All right, guys. Catch us next Monday on Talking Topics with the three amigos from 5:30 to 6:30, maybe to 7 Eastern Standard Time. Peace, love, and chicken grease. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. If you guys want to order any of the shirts from us, we have Kyle can put it in the link down the comments down below. I have shirts as well. My CP is over 9,000. I have Worth the Wait Cooking with DJ Carter. So I made those at Custom Ink. If you'd like to buy those, I can put the link in the comments as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We love you. We'll see you next Monday. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.